Goodness. Okay, we are back. We are back. Internet. Okay, so let's just jump in here. Okay, we're just going to put the new link here. Remove that one. Save. And then we'll go to my homepage and we will update it there. Okay. Okay, sorry about that, folks. We probably lost a few people, so here we go. We are going again. If you are here, say hello in chat. Just put a test here to make sure it's working. It says I have an excellent connection. So let's go and see if we can carry on where we were at. Oh, technology, don't we love it? So my apologies. Hopefully those that were watching can figure out where we are and we'll come back. In fact, I'll put another note on my page just to say oops, live stream crashed, but we are back. Okay, there we go. Posting. Okay, so anyway, if you were watching and you missed, you can always watch the replay. Hey Taylor, is the audio okay, buddy? Let me know if the audio sounds okay for this time. Really got to get a mic. Okay, great. So, oh, that's the wrong one. How's that one, guys? Okay, so let's just check we are all good there. Okay, good to have you both back. Okay, so let's carry on. So where were we? We were in the coaching jungle and we were going to write a research question, which is coaches, do you offer monthly, do you prefer monthly coaching or do you have a set coaching package, I guess is what we want to know, right? Monthly, let's just say month to month. We'll put a nice little something mellow. Let's just go orange. Oh, that's a bit dark, isn't it? Okay, so the reason for these questions is to hear from the community and find out what they kind of think and feel about what we're talking about. Okay, so it's going to give us the information about our niche, the way they think, the way they respond, how they deal with the current problem. So we want to know, if you have a problem, how are they currently trying to solve that problem? That's covered in the workshop as well. So it's very important we really drill down to this level. And as I was saying before the stream cut out, a lot of people just skip this or just brush over it, but it is so critical. And the people that get this right are just absolutely going ahead and crushing it. So I had a meeting with Ricky. You've probably seen him posting in the Digital Accelerator group. And I think he did about 6,000 profit last month. He's having a great start to this month as well, which is phenomenal. And on our call yesterday morning, he told me that he said, I just can't believe it. I'm just getting calls left, right, and center. People are just approaching me all from my profile hook, right? And it was just a surprise to him that people were responding so rapidly. And I was like, well, why is there such a surprise? Because ultimately we did tons of research. We understand this niche now. Well, he understands his niche at a very deep level, like we're going to do here. And he's got such a well-crafted hook that speaks directly to one of those key pain points that he is just getting leads galore. It is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so that's why I am a big believer. Okay, so speaking of Ricky, he just liked one of my photos, so he's about. Interesting. Okay, and I'm glad there is no echo. So we haven't got any responses, so what we'll do is we'll just keep doing a wee bit of research. We can come back and have a look at these shortly. I want to have a wee bit more of a look in this group. It's quite interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a search, and we're going to search for imposter syndrome, because obviously we're going to just, we had a quick look. Who here struggles with imposter syndrome? Look, people aren't going to admit to it, right? Not often. But let's just have a look at the 10 comments. It was yesterday. There's another good thread in here. Okay, so that's OH nearly all members. Look at this. It's one of the main things coming up. Okay, big problem here, folks. We see, I don't want to just understand what the problem is. I want to understand how it affects their business, right? So if you have a problem, imposter syndrome, what does that mean? How does that manifest in your business, right? So if you're trying to run a coaching business and you're suffering from imposter syndrome, now I can guess, and part of our research is we have to make what we call a hypothesis, right? So we want to, we can draw on our own experience and our own thoughts, but we still have to validate it in the market. We can't just think it up and go, yeah, I think that's right, and run ahead with it. We have to prove it. We have to validate it. We have to test it. So validate means make sure it's true. Make sure it's actual there. Otherwise, you run ahead and you've made a mistake or you've made an assumption. Very dangerous. So what I'm trying to understand here is how are these problems affecting their business? So I imagine with imposter syndrome, if you're suffering from imposter syndrome, then you're probably going to struggle to set prices. You're probably going to really have trouble on your sales calls, showing people your value. So that's going to impact their revenue, right? So there'll be a direct flow-on effect to their revenue. So they may think they want to get more clients, but the underlying cause may be imposter syndrome. So the other big problem that we just uncovered today was, what was it? Let's have a wee look at our problems. A lack of business knowledge and can't get clients. So let's just come to those ones as well. We'll go through this a wee bit faster, but I want to show you that you have to be a wee bit painstaking, okay? What are your tricks to overcome imposter syndrome? Look at that, 92 comments. So this is engagement, right? How long ago was that post? It's had time to run. Oh, don't tell me my internet's falling down again. I don't normally have this much trouble with the internet, so hopefully we'll just keep trucking along. The internal family system, try and be sincere. A whole market would collapse. I understand that. The root cause is some form of I don't know enough. Interesting. Really? So what we have here in our notes is a lack of business knowledge and I don't know how to coach. So interesting, we're seeing that these are related, right? So interesting that this is a deeper problem, is this or potentially this, if that person is right. And while we're finding this information, we still have to validate it. Remember that. The answer is in the question, no tricks. Tricking is being an imposter. Yeah, look, I agree, be authentic, be sincere. Showing up until it feels authentic. Don't give in to your negative thoughts. Okay, so people don't actually have any really good tools to overcome this. This is just all fluffy stuff that doesn't, I don't think anybody with imposter syndrome is going to get help from this thread. Dealing with the unconscious beliefs beneath the imposter syndrome. Okay, I mean, it's getting a wee bit deep. It's not going to help us make money. Considering using tricks is something an imposter would do. But that's not true. So they're now looking at marketing, all that sort of stuff. I don't think that's right. So the thing is, there are a widespread lot of people in the community, right? There's a lot of people with a lot of different beliefs, and they may not all match up with what you believe, and they may not all be right. Now, it's important we understand what our niche do believe, what the common beliefs are, and we'll be running through that shortly. But it's also very important just to keep your common sense meter running, because just because someone says it doesn't make it true. I see it all the time. Oh, I'm a Facebook ads guy, can help you scale to $100,000. Just because you say that doesn't make it true, right? So we have to test and validate and prove everything. Self-confidence comes from competence. I would agree with that. I think the more confident you become in your material, the less you feel like a fraud, perhaps. So that's good. So again, it comes down to knowing how to coach. But remember, a lot of these people went and bought a $20 life coaching certificate. They don't really have their own life skills. A lot of these people have big problems in their own life, and they're out there trying to coach and help other people when they don't really have an offer. They don't really know what they're doing. They don't have a framework. So, talk about an industry that's rife with problems. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, so anyway, we're not going to go deep into that thread. We've got enough information. We know it's a big problem. What are your tricks to overcome? So people don't like marketing language in this. I'm seeing it everywhere. They just, you marketing to me? So it's very important that when we use the language to create our hooks, there's no marketing speak. We know now. In fact, I'm going to make a note of that. I already have. This market turns off in a big way. Okay, we do not want to forget this. I'm going to highlight it because very important we're careful with our communications and keep this in mind. Okay, has anybody responded? Oh, looks like no one is going to bother responding to our posts, which will be annoying. We might have asked the wrong questions. Anyway, where are we with this group? So that's a very long thread. So the other thing we want to look at is pricing. How are they pricing? So let's just go pricing. See if there's any issues. Oh my goodness. Okay, this one's got a lot of resonance, a lot of engagement. Good morning, coaches. Do you advertise your coaching prices online or make them public? Some say yes, some say no. Okay, interesting. Won't go into that. 77, I'm hesitant to put pricing up and fear they won't call. So people are afraid of their higher price. They're afraid of showing it. So it shows that there's a little bit of a problem in terms of their self-belief, probably that imposter syndrome again. Look, we'll talk about a niche rife with problems. This is a good niche. I think we're going to be able to work in this niche. I think this is where we're going to end up. But do we want to go with life coaches? If they're paying $20 for their life coaching certificate, they're really going to spend $2,000 or $3,000 on building out a proper coaching framework or whatever high ticket offer we put in front of them. Now, the thing to remember is, yeah, I'm going to sell a high ticket program, but I'm absolutely going to want to add value. It's still got to be a good value. We still have to establish that it's a very good return for them. 3K in, much more out. So it's not just about trying to screw money out of them, it's about giving enough value that the $3,000 is a no-brainer. Put prices up. We have a client, Sean, who was charging $150 a session. We helped him create his unique signature offer. Now he is charging 15K for 3 months group coaching. Group coaching is something new that I haven't come across. I'm going to do some research on that. I'm a therapist and a coach, would love to connect. It's a very personal opinion. I've been a practicing attorney. Your coaches are going to say, yes, your price should always be there. I personally don't think it's necessary. The reason you don't want to put price before you put, and nobody's covered this here, but the reason you don't want to put your price is because then they're pricing based on what they think your offer is. You're not getting in there and you're not able to do the value proposition, which is the third module in this workshop, right? The value proposition is all about establishing the outcomes that they want, how we move them from A to B, where they are now to where they want to be, and what does that mean? Once they're here, what does that mean for their life? What are those positive, emotional, and physical outcomes? And then we link our solution to that, what we're doing, right? And they're going to place far more value on it. Now, if you go and put your pricing out, they're not going to be able to do that. So they've already made a decision based on other things. You're not in control. So that's why I think it's absolutely no to put your pricing until you've established value. That's just my opinion. Yeah. So we're not getting any responses. I thought at this time we might get a wee bit of responses to our questions, but clearly not yet. So we'll check on those in the next couple of days. And what we're going to do now is we're going to just have a look at what we've already got. We've got imposter syndrome. I'm going to have a look at these problems. I think we're going to go and verify these problems. That's what those two questions are designed to do. We're going to see what people say. But the one we haven't looked at yet is getting clients. So we're going to have a quick search. Excuse me. So how to get clients. See what we got here. Always, when you're writing big comments, always put gaps. That's just so hard to read, right? Look how hard that is to read. It's just this big wall of text. Just put an enter after every couple of sentences and keep some white noise. Much easier to read. You'll get better engagement. Little side note there. Does anyone have any tips or ideas on how to construct a workshop? Well, so it happens I've just done that. I'm interested in hosting a 2-hour Zoom workshop, but I have no idea how to structure one to run it successfully and get potential clients in. Okay, that's interesting. 26 comments. Let's see what solutions are out there. So let's make a wee note. Key problems. Okay, so alternative solutions. And the problem here is coaching framework. Let's see what the market is saying. Which one? This one. Okay. So both the workshop and the process of getting clients into it are two separate pieces. Start with the workshop's idea. Oh gosh. Okay, so a bit easier to read. What in the moment plan your what? You're starting from 0 clients. Build a list. Okay, there's nothing really easy to work on there, but a lot of people like this, so we should probably read it. You want to build a list. Be active. Email newsletters. Don't use newsletters, folks. Emails evolved. When was the last time you read a newsletter? During this time, you're also working on the structure and content of your workshop. If you're upselling or offering something, open your card, make sure to follow up. Okay, it's mini workshop magic. Did you use your system? Is it easy to follow? It's ridiculously in depth. Okay, so here we have mini workshop magic. So we can go and have a wee look at that later. Google is your friend. So that's, I'll be OCD and make that the same font. Okay, that's interesting. I'll be doing a workshop on how to build a workshop. Coaches who help coaches help coaches. It depends on the objective of the workshop. If you want to pitch the higher ticket program at the end, then it should have 4 steps: introduction, core content, problem. Okay, I would go very differently from that. This is a really good course. Wake Up to Freedom. That's these guys. That's who that is. I've seen them everywhere. Wake Up to Freedom. They're saying do workshops, not webinars. Very clever. I fully agree. Really, really cool offer, that one. So that's the Wake Up to Freedom. Okay. For workshops. Okay. Just notes at this stage. The thing is, we don't have to go deep. We don't have to, this is just high level. We're just trying to get an overview of our market here, because if I'm going to go and make 12K from this market, I need to make sure that I get this right. Attend a couple and you'll find your rhythm. That's actually really good advice. That's underrated advice. If you want to know how to do something, go and attend it. If you want to know how to do a workshop, go and look at some other workshops that are successful. but I've been in a number of seminars. Draw your outline from the answers on the intro questions. Would love to connect. Sounds like there are a few questions. Yes, I do, but I'd have to ask your goal. I'm using Doers Way virtual events, just $6.95. Mindfreaks. Okay, so we'll put mindfreaks.com in here as well. Let's go have a look at mindfreaks.com, shall we? Whoops. Good mouse skills. See what they offer. Because often your competitors will have already found the problem in the market and they've already crafted an offer to deal with that problem. And while we might not necessarily find all the problems straight up, when we're doing our competitor research, we can often intuitively figure out what problem they're trying to solve. Man, look how slow this website is. That us going to crash again? There is actually this really cool tool here that tells me my connection speed, and we are on excellent. Okay, drop the mask, reveal yourself. Interesting. The community powered coaching. Sorry you can't see all this. Okay, I still can't actually tell what they do, so let's just look at their services. Okay, I am not sure what that is, so that is confusing. Okay, and commenting got turned off for some reason. That's interesting. Wow. Oh, that person turned it off. Obviously got sick of all the answers. Okay, well, I'm sad that nobody has responded to our questions, which shows that I probably haven't dialed in the language yet, so kind of important that we keep our eyes on that, right? Keep it. Oh, maybe it wasn't posted yet. No idea what any of this stuff is. Okay. So the other one we want to look at is getting clients. So we're just going to search get clients. Again, we had a look, but it didn't bring up much. How are you currently getting your clients? Okay, we'll have a look at this one. I am struggling with the same thing. Good replies, bots leading, whatever. Would like to know that too. I just don't get it. Getting clients is a secondary matter in respect to coaching profession. Why do I say this? Clients respond to value. What problem are you equipped to solve? PM me for in-depth. Right? Doing the right things, the right, okay, just be careful when you write online that you're clear, you got real good clarity. The $1 million question, client acquisition, revenue flow is where most struggle, but why? Why are they struggling with this? So what we might do is go to my favorite group. This is where I get a lot of my clients. And we're going to go to the ClickFunnels group because this is moderated, so our question won't go live straight away. And in here, we're going to ask another research question, which isn't going to necessarily be asked at. For those with coaching or consulting offers, what do we want to know? We want to know why. Why do you think many in this space struggle to get clients? So let's just see what people think the reason is. I want to know, I want to go deeper, I want to understand the root cause of these problems. This should get some engagement. This is a good group. I know this group. This is a group where I am very active. Lots of members, and it's for my other offer, it's my core niche. So it's very, very good. Okay, so we're still getting no big replies to our stuff. Okay, so we'll just have to wait and see on that. So we're going to move on while we wait for our answers. So let's go and have a look here, right? So we're kind of doing a lot of stuff all over the place here. So let's just review what we've got. So for the coaching consulting, what were we looking for? We were looking for problems that we can solve. Well, we have 7. We'll go through those in a minute. The language that resonates, we're starting to learn that, and I'm going to show you something on Amazon in a moment that I noticed yesterday that I didn't speak about around the language that resonates, and it's a very emotional language. It's very heartfelt. It's very emotional, especially in the life coaching, not the business coaching. We're learning the style of posts to get maximum engagement. Often these two go hand in hand, okay? So if they get good engagement, there's a good sign that the language works, okay? And we want to know what turns it off. The other thing we wanted to know here is the beliefs. What does this market, let's call it a niche, believe, okay? Language notes. A moment of silence for the coaches who want more freedom but are scared to transition over to group coaching. This got a lot of backlash. Okay, very important to note this stuff. This market turns off to marketing speak. What that means is they don't like marketing words. So using words like explode your sales, unleash, any marketing speak is just going to backfire. Okay, what works is emotional language, and let me show you that. Okay. If you haven't used Canva before, by the way, fantastic tool, and it's free. I have a pro account, but you can do a lot of good stuff for free. So let's go back to Amazon. Gosh, I can type well today, can't I? And I'm gonna show you something with this coaching, and we're gonna do another bit of research on here. So first, we're gonna go to books here, and then we're gonna search books. We're going to just go for first start. We're gonna go. Let's just go coaching again. This is where we saw it yesterday, and here are the top books. And what we're going to look at is this one's got a lot of feedback. So I want to look at the language, which we didn't look at yesterday. Penetrating questions. Okay, so huge problem here is people don't know how to actually coach. That's like somebody saying, well, I do Facebook ads, but they've never done Facebook ads, or I'm an e-commerce specialist and they've never made money on e-commerce. Look, everybody puts their offer out there regardless of whether or not they have the skill. What I'm trying to do is come at it from a different angle. So we're not just saying I do this, we're saying I help you with this problem. It's a much more powerful way to get high ticket clients. In fact, I don't know that there's too many other ways apart from hard sell and some more unethical marketing practices, which I tend to avoid. So what is really interesting here is in the reviews. This could perfectly be the textbook of 11 months training I'm taking right now. I'm reading the chapters. It's keeping me ahead of the class. That's interesting. Some of the introduction questions are so good. I use them as startup and consulting, teaching and coaching as well. Must for a coach's library. I'm new to life coaching. Well, we know that there are a lot of people new to life coaching. They've probably got their certificate. Only if you go by the official title. However, the concept is something I'm familiar with. Ministry, okay, me. Okay, look at this, and destiny discovery. Interesting. So, let's just make a wee note here. Emotional language, destiny and calling, which we've already identified somewhere, right? Here's a belief. Okay, so language around that is obviously going to work. This is just some people are just finding this very helpful with no experience, who's new in coaching, and there's many great questions that a novice coach will find them useful. So this is for people that don't have a framework or don't know how to coach, right? And I think there's an opportunity as a copywriter to put an offer into this space, but is it a big enough problem? Well, a lot of people have bought this book. But here's the other one I want to show you that talks more about the emotional language. It was on the second line, and it had, oh, wasn't there. Where is it? Let's just have a look. So I just look for the ones that have high and solid reviews. Now, interesting, the one that we saw yesterday is gone. Here's an interesting one. Look at this. Who that am I to be a coach? Warrior's Guide to Building a Wildly Successful Coaching Business from the Inside Out. So that's dealing probably with imposter syndrome. 89% good, 7% 3-star. Yeah, it's probably okay. We might actually have a wee look at that, just to see. I just catchy title, right? Look at this one. The essential changes every leader. That's not really in coaching. Purpose, passion, and pajamas. Okay, and lead with meaning, human connection. That's the sort of stuff we want. Lead with, what was it? Lead with, gosh, my memory's so good. Meaning. Embrace the human connection. It's just good to see the language that resonates. There's only 92 people have bought this, but 82%, that's very high for 3 stars. And it's a sponsored book, so it's obviously quite new. Very cool. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. Why isn't your coaching business thriving? Why are you feeling so damn stuck? This book is a missing link to turning your calling, there it is again, into a thriving business. What would it be like to finally understand why you're not making money and know how to stop doubting yourself? There's our imposter syndrome. You can become a wildly successful coach on your own terms. It's time to start asking who the fuck am, oh, bad language. I've shown hundreds of warrior coaches how to serve clients and make a difference. Tell you what, if you change this language a little bit, this would be more effective in this market. Why many new coaches fail to create sustainable, the inside out to finding and enrolling clients. Okay, so problem, there's a problem. How to price your coaching in a way that's abundant, sustainable, and honorable. Oh, let's just copy all of these, because these are all problems. So we're just going to go and pop this into our key problems. Amazon. Okay. So client problem, tick. Pricing, tick. Do we have pricing on here? Yes, undercharging. Pricing. So let's just elaborate on that one. So not really glamorous, is it? This stuff is just grind. This is just getting to know it. How to step courageously, right, into the coach you were born to be right now. Look at these, look at the language. When we talk about the language that's working here, I've copied this because look at it, right? Joy, inspiration, grace, courageous. Look at the language that are being used here, right? Sustainable, abundant, honorable. Okay, very cool. And really cool title on the book. Let's just see what people say about the book, shall we? Not too many low stars. I want, as I say, I want the 5 and 4 stars to add up to over 90. We've got 70, 89, so we're close. Okay, this is interesting. Look at this. Please clean up your language. Way too much vulgarity. So this is backfired, right? It's got the attention, but it's backfired. Interesting. I had a feeling that might be the case. I wasn't sure I wanted to be subjected to a lot of cussing. However, it wasn't offensive. The author's voice is conversational. Okay, they like conversational language. Good. So let's make a note of that. So see how we're doing this? See what we're building here? We're starting to just, all these little bits are going to build a really big picture. It's like a puzzle, and each time we put a wee piece in, we get a bigger view of the whole thing. So in terms of language notes, let's just conversational language works well. Now, I want to see these problems more than once. You know, we just see one person, they could be wrong. So we have to validate all this, and we'll show you how to do that. It won't be today, but we are going to validate all this research, okay? So this is what I was born to do. Here it is again. So these coaches believe, right? This is what I was born to do. It's my calling. Really interesting to hear how they think and see, right? I had been a coach since I was 12. It's not always easy to find and sustain the focus, audacity, and energy needed to build a successful coaching business. It's like an infusion of oomph, or a passion with practical tips. Easy to read, no nonsense and direct, creative and compassionate. Look, clearly we've got to be kind in our language. If we're asking our clients to be courageous, we must dare to be courageous ourselves, not fearless. Joy and fulfillment and delight is a top priority in running your business. Okay? nothing around your structure, your systems, your business basics. This is all about your emotional feel good. So this is a very emotional niche. This is a niche driven highly on emotion. So I imagine the business frameworks in these coaching businesses don't exist and are probably a major cause of issues getting clients and having repeatable systems. So there's definitely good to see all this stuff. So this is why this research is helpful. And as we grow and as we get more of an understanding of our niche, we can just keep reading this stuff and more of it makes sense. I freaking love this book. It spoke on all of my fears and helped me through it. Interesting. There are many books out there about the what and how. This book deals with the why. Okay, so that's interesting. But people like this stuff. I've been a coach for 2 years. I was struggling to find my audience. Look at that. The people I'm destined to coach. There it is again. Destined. Oh, talk about. Let's just say this is a big area. Just for me to know that it's significant. We're going to highlight green is anything that I think is extremely significant. Just as I'm reviewing quickly, I'll stop on the green stuff, and they're kind of going to be the golden rules. Really interesting. I'm much happier for knowing this. So it's all, again, emotional. I bought this for a friend who dreamed of becoming a life coach. Best book she's read, the kickstart and inspiration. I was drawn to this book by something I can't quite explain. What I can say is, well, that's interesting. What it is the blurb has uncovered one of the unconscious or unaware problems that this person's having. So really interesting. I've been trying to write and do things that will inspire others. This is really cool. So this is why I enjoy this research. It just gives me, if I went and tried to put an offer into the coaching without doing this research into this niche, I think it would be bad. Okay, so that was really interesting. I enjoyed that. So what we're going to have a look at then is coaching clients. We're just going to see if there's anything around clients. The heart of laser focused coaching. Interesting. How to get clients. Look, not popular. It's only a month old. The heart of laser focus. All the tools you need to manage. What we want to find is books that. Okay, a lot of books just coming out now. Look at this. So this is an old one, only 15. Emotion focused therapy. So we're not going to use the word therapy. Lead together. Yeah, I mean, obviously the problem of getting clients isn't as big, at least with Amazon. How to win and keep clients. 5, and it's free. So, people aren't going and. So look, this one got more. Prosperous coach. Interesting. Prosperity works. Okay. So we're just going to make, what I'm going to do here is I'm just actually going to put keywords. Let's just have a keywords section, and all the keywords I find, we can put it here. So that one was, whoops. Instead of income, revenue, talk prosperity. Okay, interesting. So this one, the prosperous coach, impact. They like the word impact. Interesting. Okay, so let's jump in here. There's a lot of reviews. First thing, we want to make sure it's decent, so we're going to check all the reviews. 85 and 8 for the top 2. That's 93, so that's very high. Very, very high. Look, I know you're probably sitting here going, oh man, this stuff's so boring. But I just said I was going to live stream and figure out how to make some money in this new niche. So, this is what you have to do. You don't have to, but if you want to get results and you're not right now, this is what you got to run through. So, I'm trying to just share my thoughts, my thinking processes, just trying to lay it all out for you. Why is a paperback so expensive? Okay, well that's a weird reason to lower it down. Opened my mind to a new way of thinking. This is a terrific book. I couldn't find it on Kindle. Serving powerfully in every interaction without worrying about giving away coaching. Okay, interesting. creating clients, not acquiring or gathering, finding. So they want clients, but they're not responding to their marketing. That's really interesting. Yeah, really, really interesting. Let's see what he didn't like. So 112 people really liked this review. That's important, because this means it resonated. It's only a 3-star too, so that's interesting. You don't want to be needy. You can decipher his method of creating clients. Have known enough. Rich understands the methodology. The bad. He has some hyperbole in there about how you should not market, not email, not go to networking events, don't cold call people. Yeah, look. It's fine. Differentiate myself. Well, that's what they all want to do. That's what we have to do. So I just sit here and I read this stuff and I try and find little nuggets. It's time for me to start failing. Okay, so prosperity is a really, if we're going to go into the client, we're not going to talk about client acquisition, we're going to talk about how to build a prosperous business. Hidden in the chart book with gems of spirituality, whereas like serve yous, but my favorite is the truth of, in silence you find the space to be creative. Oh well. Let's just throw that into the resonance. Okay, I'm going to stream for about another 30 minutes. We'll go through to midday, 2 hours today. I need to get this done. Okay, so we've got some good stuff here. I see there's a lot of notifications. Hopefully people are starting to answer our questions. So this is really good. So the prosperous coach, increase income and impact for yourself and your clients. Really interesting. I think that is exceptional. So we're going to just copy that. This has got high resonance compared to all the other books on coaching. So, you know, if we go back and have a look at the one that says how to get clients, 5, how to sell coaching, 8. There's a real aversion to marketing in this space. Yeah, how to get clients, 6. The market is speaking. This is why we have to do our research. I bet you most people who are going and trying to sell services where to help coaches get clients, if they don't know this, they're just shooting blind. They're going to miss. They're not going to hit. That's really interesting. So we're just going to put this down. Oops. Got to remember, Control-Shift-V, paste without formatting. Okay, so we'll just make a wee note. Book on Amazon, big resonance, high reviews. Cool. So now we're learning what our coaches are responding to, what sort of, when they're dealing with the problem. Okay, so if we look at the problem here, let's just break this one down. Where is our problems? There they go. So can't get clients. Okay, this is a problem, and it's a big problem. And interesting, the language around this problem, if we go out and we say, we're going to help you get clients, it's just going to fail. The market has told us what works here. So we need to talk prosperity and abundance and that kind of language for these particular coaches. So that's really interesting. Yeah, really interesting. So let's go and see if we've uncovered anything interesting in our Facebook. So, okay, so someone's answered in this one. So let's have a quick look. We've got one whole answer, but we want to. Okay. I understand it to be where someone feels like a fraud, or that they are not feels like a fraud, or that they are not how do we describe this? What is imposter syndrome? I understand it to be if someone feels like a fraud, or that they're not qualified enough, worthy enough, this language works, right? to, let's just leave it at that. Okay. The reason I answer these questions, really cool trick here, when you want some engagement, the Facebook algorithm, if nobody responds, then it's just going to die. But if someone responds and then it sees that there's more responses and there's conversations happening, well, they know that it's engaging, so they serve it to more people. So if you want your content to be served and seen by more people, make it engaging, make it open-ended, and make sure you respond to all the comments. Yeah, that just keeps feeding the thing. Now, I know ClickFunnels group is always powerful, right? For those with coaching and consulting offers, why do you think many in this space struggle to get clients? Trust, okay? Just because you're good at what you do doesn't mean you're good at marketing it. If that's the question, does it mean the other spaces are easy to get clients, customers? Well, who knows? Okay, we'll just see what happens. Let's just respond to one of these and say, yes, interestingly, this market doesn't respond well to marketing talk. Just have a conversation. Good point. Trust is vital. How do you go about establishing trust? Now that's a moderator, we're probably not going to get a reply there, but okay, that's good. We're getting some feedback at last. I'll just have a quick check of my messenger, make sure, okay, this works stuff. Steve, you were listening as well. Look at that. See, I don't know who's listening, maybe nobody, but you know, you're probably like, oh, this is so boring. He's just doing all this stuff. So let's just remember the importance of doing what we're doing here. Okay, so let's run through our key problems. Niching down, not understanding, and a lot of not understood, and a lot of engagement. I'm going to read this. I haven't seen enough of it. I just don't want to go to do that. I'm doing niching down now with my workshop. There's a whole module on it. This isn't a problem I want to go and solve. This isn't new. This isn't fair to you guys if I was to cheat and do something I've already got. This is interesting. I don't know how to coach is really, really interesting because look, this ties in. This one, not charging as much as I would like, ties into imposter syndrome, the lack of business knowledge. We're going to green that. I realize we're greening all of these, but we're going to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a XX. These are all related. These are all related. So we might be able to cover off all these problems, which would be powerful if we can problem stack. Okay, so, well, I mean, I don't know how to coach. Maybe isn't business, that's the difference, so we'll take those out. Okay, really interesting. So, oh, we got a reply. Nice. Oh, and other people replying, good. Oh, so being a woman would qualify to a point because 45 years on the earth and every guy I've met or been involved with has treated me like I'm not good enough, not worthy, or qualified to be married to him. Okay, thanks. Okay, so what do we know about this market? It's a very emotional market. It's a very female-heavy market. So it's really interesting that this group, Virtual Coach Community, is really catering to the life coaching. Here, I can do business coaching, business consultancy, it's going to be interesting. We did get a reply here, so let's just refresh that page. Research. It's just you got to do it. You just got to do it. Oh, okay, that was just a misfire on the. Okay, I see. Hadn't updated. Okay, so interesting. So, imposter syndrome is also related. So we've now got some good information, enough that I can probably make a decision now. So I'm going to spend the rest of this live stream figuring out what we're going to do. We're still going to have to do some more research, but what I'm doing now is niche selection, okay? So who am I going to help, okay? And with what problem? So there's a lot of problems. And if we go back up and we think about my skills and expertise, okay? So if we take these, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do this, and in our problems, we're going to go and list this here. Oops. And now we're going to go through our problems. Okay, and we're going to write the problems. Okay, I don't know how to coach. What skill set could I use to fix that? Digital marketing, copywriting, digital business. So it would be consulting, okay? So if I want to copy that and put what we're going to do here in a different color is we're going to color my skills and expertise. I'm just going to color those in blue, okay? Oh, let's use a lighter blue so we can actually read it. Okay, so that is the skill or expertise I would probably need to use to fix that. Pricing, not able to charge as much. So if we go to my skills and expertise, that's this one. Okay, so that's sorting them out a strategy or a framework of some description, which I quite like the idea of. Okay, we'll use a different color. Imposter syndrome. Again, it's going to be, right, looks like we're going to be using a consulting offer here, guys. So nothing here yet for copywriting, but I'm going to think outside the box. How to structure a pricing offer? Well, that can come down to having a program. So this is where all of these would come in actually. So we're going to put all of those here. No, we don't want that. What I'm trying to do now, so what is this process? Why am I doing this? What I'm trying to understand is what problem am I best equipped to solve? Because I want the biggest problem. And we're going to go and we're going to list the problems in terms of the size of the problem. So can't get clients, that's again all of these, and it's also sales, right? So there's also sales. We also are very good at selling, a very big track record in corporate and sales. Lack of business knowledge, that's consulting, isn't it? That's consulting, that's digital business strategy. Okay, so it's these two things here. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm just matching my skills and expertise to the key problems in the industry to see, just start sort of figuring out where I want to focus, okay? Now I haven't drilled down into the exact type of coaching I want to help with, or the coaches or consultants. You know, there are a lot, there's fitness coaches, there's all these life coaches seems to be where I'm gravitating. So I am okay at heavily female audiences. I had a chocolate factory for 10 years. I learned that language. I learned about the emotional connection we have to chocolate. So that was great, and the marketing language that I developed there will stand me in good stead for this. And that's what you want to be doing. You want to be thinking about how your skills and experience and expertise can help solve these problems. So how can we solve imposter syndrome? Well, we need to know what the root causes are, right? And the root causes of imposter syndrome is I don't know how to coach. Okay, so we're gonna do some additional notes here. So that was just placeholder stuff. So notes on problems. And now I just wanna, this is where we use our brain, right? This is where we're just gonna go and say, okay, so imposter syndrome is a manifestation of deeper problems. I don't believe in myself mindset. Okay, so these are the deeper problems. I don't have experience. I don't know how to coach. Let's just say they're similar. Okay, so that's a pretty deep problem. I don't know how to structure my business or get clients, so they feel like a fraud. Okay, so that's an interesting problem, but the thing is, imposter syndrome is not the key problem. It's a sign of deeper problems. However, there's something we talk about, which is how aware of the problem are our coaches. So if they're not problem aware, they're not aware of the problem. So they might know they have imposter syndrome, but they might not know why. So if we go and we deal in this stuff, I don't believe in myself, I don't have experience, and we get that wrong, they won't necessarily make that connection. So we have to make sure we are not having to educate them as to the problem. So we'd talk about imposter syndrome and say, do you know why you have imposter syndrome? And we would lead it in with that. So that's how we get around that. So that's an interesting one. But there's a deeper problem here, and that's the pricing business framework, e.g. creating a program. And the reason for this is no business experience, emotionally driven. Now, I don't mean that as a negative, it just means that they're not logical, they don't have systems and processes, so we're just going to put lack of systems and processes. And people hate building systems and processes, but it's how you get the big money. Okay, so this is an interesting problem that we're dealing with here. So why are they unable? Okay, so obviously imposter syndrome comes into the pricing. So right, so pricing, interestingly, let's just make a note here. Pricing can be a manifestation of imposter syndrome. Okay, pricing issues. So what that means, what I'm learning here is that the inability to price what they believe they should be pricing, which is your high ticket. You know, we're wanting to put 1,500, 3K offers in, and if these people aren't able, if they're charging $100 an hour, they're not really going to be making a lot of money, right? So they have a pricing issue, and one of the reasons for that is imposter syndrome. Another possible reason is the lack of business experience, or the lack of understanding, the lack of being able to build a value-based offer. So it's an offer problem. Or offer problem, okay? But again, it's a deeper issue. But the way that we're going to craft our offer is to talk about the one that we're aware about. Do you wish you could charge more for your coaching program or for your coaching? Well, a lot of people are going to be, oh, yes, okay? But we're not going to say charge more. We're going to say prosperity. We're going to use the language that they like, okay? And we're going to test all this language. We're going to show you how I test the language, how I validate problems. So this is really interesting. So this leads to this one or this one. So these are the deeper issues. And I'll tell you what, I'm very well equipped to solve this one. Right? I like this one. I like this one a lot. But these people are going to struggle to implement that. So I'm going to have a wee bit of a disconnect with this audience. So it's going to be really, we're going to have to come up with a really killer offer. This may be better. But again, no point saying how to overcome imposter syndrome. We need to link it to some outcomes. So how to overcome imposter syndrome so that you can have abundant pricing or create prosperity through pricing. You know, using this language is where I'm already thinking, because that's what I'm learning from my market and from my research. Okay, really interesting. Really interesting. So I got to choose. Am I going to go after this one or this one? That is a really good question. I really need to understand that, right? So, yeah, I mean, I think we've covered the key problems here. Can't get clients, okay? So, lack of business knowledge. So we can either look at creating a program and how to get clients, so we can put everything together. So we're clearly going to be offering our own package here, which is we're going to be wanting to charge at least $1,500. I want to really do 2.5K and go get 4 clients, 5 clients to make the 12K. We can go $2,000 and get 6 clients to get the $12,000. You know, are there 6 people in the world that I can help? Yes. Will I genuinely make a difference in their business? Yes. But that isn't enough. Having that isn't enough. Okay? So we know that these people feel they have a calling. So I'm already thinking about how, as a copywriter, so my copywriting skills are going to come in very handy here when I craft this offer. Now, I'm not going to build a website. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. And this isn't the niche I want to do for the rest of my life. This is just going to be in and out, make some money, and then I may hand it over to someone else. If it goes really well, I'll just find a way to automate it. Because I really want to focus on offer and niche building and helping people get started to make money online. That's my real function or purpose that I have in my marketing. That's the people I am helping. So by doing this 12K challenge, I'm trying to show you how you can go from 0 to 12K. And we've spent a good 3 hours here. I didn't do any of the research offline. I'm doing it all online. So let's just go in here and put imposter syndrome. Not necessarily related to coaching because it's going to be across many different things, but we'll just see what, the you are not a fraud, the imposter cure. You are not a fraud, you deserve success, you can believe in yourself. Own your greatness. The secret thoughts of successful women. This one's big. Get out of your own way. Practical lessons for conquering procrastination, fear, envy. Okay, unlocking your authentic self. Ditching imposter syndrome. Why do I feel like an imposter? Okay, so a lot of books, but look, people aren't going to try and find self-confidence, self-doubt. Okay, so that works. So self-doubt and improving self-esteem. So I would imagine that that's true for our people here. What do we call that? So we're going to overcome self-doubt and improve self-esteem. So that's something that resonated. Okay, so we're just going to copy that title in. Okay, that's interesting. And the blurb, from facing your fears to practicing self-compassion. Now look, the people reading this aren't all coaches, okay? So, but the thing is, this problem affects our coaches as well. So we want to understand this problem in a bit more depth and what solutions. So a 5-step program that begins with setting goals and use evidence-based strategies. So we've seen that a few times. To foster acceptance, mindfulness, self-compassion. So is that same language resonating? And where are our reviews? Let's go look at our reviews. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty high. It's using the language, okay, 70, 80, 90. So only 74% were 5-star, but I look at 4 and 5-star and I want 90% plus. We have it. Warm, easy to read tone, really interesting. Examples, so they like systems, they like examples. A lot of these books talk about providing examples. I'm a psychologist, what a pleasant surprise. Negative stories. Love how positive and encouraging it is. Well, sorry, workbook. Interesting. Okay. Let's see if we've got anybody else answering our questions. So this is why I like the ClickFunnels group. It is just so active, and if you want to do quick research, you get it sooner. So the question was, why do you think people are struggling to get clients? So Daniel, I've realized pick a dream, customer and market, craft and irresistible offer, design a sales pitch for it. Most people don't get this part right. Why do you think they get the last step wrong? And I can tell you why. I already know the answer. The answer is because they haven't done their research, right? So here we are, 2 hours in, so plus an hour yesterday, we've got 3 hours of research, and all we've done is said, okay, we're gonna help coaches, okay? Now, so these are the key problems. What we've done is we've sort of had a look at the bigger ones. I'm not trying to do my offer yet, I'm just trying to figure out what problem I'm gonna solve. Okay, so let's what problem will I solve? Okay, now remember, big problems, big dollars. So if I was to list these problems in order, what do you think the biggest problems are here? Okay, I would say it's this one, based on what we've looked at, and this one, and this one. But we know the root causes of those. So it looks like we're either going to be dealing with clients or framework. I've got two choices here. Okay, so I've narrowed it down to 2 choices. Getting clients, and here I'm going to just put business systems, okay, or imposter syndrome. But the thing is, if I'm going to go in and help with imposter syndrome, the way I'm going to help it is by getting them more confident and giving them a business. So we're going to deal with that one by default, and I don't want to be the guy who goes out and fixes imposter syndrome. So I want to help put the business side into the coaching side. So that's what so this is a big problem. So if we go back through here, lack of business knowledge and can't get clients hand in hand. I don't know how to coach is a big one. But do I want to teach people? Well, we could do a coaching framework, right? So let me put that. Creating a coaching framework to increase dollar value. Now, we'll talk about imposter syndrome in this if we were to go that way. So these are the two areas that I could go with. I can either help them build a client acquisition system and put in some standard operating processes in their business to enable them to get clients and to get them in, to get their business side of their business sorted rather than the emotional side. So that would be for people that already know how to do a coaching offer, okay? This one is for people who don't know how to coach and need to create a coaching offer. Probably a bigger market, probably a bigger problem to increase dollar value and pricing, because let's just write abundance and prosperity, not value and pricing. See how we're already starting to use their language, which I think is really important. Okay, so I'm going to make a decision between these 2 things, 1 or 2. That's such bad English. Develop business systems to create repeatable business. What I'm really trying to say there is just, this is my thinking of how I'm going to solve these problems. So if I want to think about my niche now, remember I define a niche as a group of people that I help with a specific and definable problem. So I don't know why that's got some color there. I help coaches and consultants. It's wide enough. Okay, so what do I help them? Now this is getting into offer creation. I don't want to get into offer creation. What I just want to do is, that's who I'm helping solve what problem. So it's one of those 2 problems. So get clients, get more clients. Or create a coaching framework, system, program to increase dollars. Okay, so these are my choices. These are the 2 areas. They're a wee bit different from each other. I want to focus on one problem, not both. So which is the bigger problem? This one or this one? So why don't we go ask? Why don't we go ask? Well, we will. We will absolutely have to validate. Okay, so we're getting some more answers. That's good, but it's all in the ClickFunnels group, interestingly. Lack of knowledge, consistent outflow. I don't know what that means. referrals and untraditional through referrals and untraditional channels like Slack groups and Discord groups. Why are they struggling to get clients? Well, that's not really answering the question, but this is interesting. Lack of knowledge, I agree. Cool. So that's good. So I think we're going to leave it here. I think that's going to be the end of the live stream. It's midday. We've done 2 hours. This has been really, really insightful today, because what we've managed to come up with now, what we've come up with is a problem. So now we've identified the key problems that we want to solve. It's either to help them get more clients or how to create a coaching framework and system, and perhaps we could link the two together and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm not sure, but what I know now is that this is the key problem I am going to fix. How am I going to fix it? Well, you'll have to tune into the next live stream when we start getting into our offer creation. But all that we've done, let's just review quickly what we've done today. It's all about research, figuring out what are the key problems and understanding what are the causes of those problems, how they manifest in the business. We're going to be doing some more research as we create our offer. We continue with our research. We want to know what our competitors are doing. We want to know what sort of language works. So we're going to start testing some language, although we're already getting a really good feel for that, aren't we? Through doing the research on Amazon and seeing how people are responding and what they're responding to. So, the posts that get 100+ engagements, and then there's some with 4 or 5. Well, those 100+ engagement posts give you a clue that that's what people are relating to and resonating with. So you look at the language, we want to understand that. We don't have to go crazy about this, but look, we've already got a whole lot of notes. We'll review all those tomorrow, get started. So tomorrow, we're going to just keep going. We're going to get into this. I'm going to be live streaming at the same time every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so that you can plan ahead. I'll take Friday, Saturday, Sunday off the challenge. So we'll be doing the challenge 4 days a week, 1 to 2 hours. So that's going to be 4 to 8 hours a week that we're putting into this. And in 4 weeks, that's potentially between 16 and 32 hours. So let's say 20 to 25 hours. Is that enough to go and get clients? Well, we hope so, because I have to make 12K to prove this stuff works. So, you could say, oh yeah, I think there's a problem is getting clients, and then go and create an offer. Well, why are they having trouble getting clients? And we've got a much better understanding of that today. So I'm going to stop waffling about this stuff. I really just want to share my thought processes, show you how I think, show you how I approach this, show you how it works. So that's 3 hours of some pretty in-depth research. We've got a much better feel for this niche. Now, I could have gone into the second niche that I identified, or second industry, I should say. So remember, there are 2 industries, retail and e-commerce, where business consultancy I can create a lot of cool programs. So I would need to go through and do another few hours of research in here to see if there's a big problem, but I think I'm just going to settle on this one. Those problems are big. I think I can create a really cool offer here, and I'm going to show you how you do that. So how on earth am I going to use my skills to create an offer to solve these big problems? Well, we're going to do that tomorrow. So thank you for tuning in. If you're watching the replay, feel free to drop a comment below. Again, I am going to fix these sound problems. I do apologize that I don't have a better system. I was trying to use these, but the mic, the OBS software won't pick up the microphone. It just picks up the laptop mic, which is even worse. The air conditioning is on the lowest sort of eco setting to try and keep the noise down. I've got all the doors shut. It is stonking hot here, but we are going to get through this challenge, and we are going to show you how to make money. So the next few challenges, live streams, will be a bit more interesting as we move out of the research phase and into the offer creation phase, which is going to be a lot of fun. But I still have to decide. So why don't you tell me which one you think I should be doing? I'll summarize all this in the group, but if you haven't yet, subscribe so you see when we go live. Just hit the subscribe button below. Give this a like so that we know that people are watching. And I will see you tomorrow, where we're going to continue to go out and figure out how to create an offer to solve these problems.